Good morning, everybody. This is Dee Dee with Power Through Trading. Thank you for joining. I'm not here just to teach you to strat, but teach you how to execute from the market using the strat techniques. If you have more questions regarding the strat, please reach out to my guy, Rob Smith, at Smith's in the Black channel, Rob in the Black on Twitter, or at sepiagroup.com. All right, so yesterday was Fed noise. They raised rates about 75 basis points, and they're looking at the data and said, yeah, I think they were a little bullish on the market. Didn't really see that we were in a recession given the low unemployment rate. I believe, let's look at, hang on one second, the CPI data come out today, guys. Let's look at what's coming out. We'll just start with the market, broader market, and then we'll talk about this trades. And so let's see, Germany, Canada, US, 8:30, guys. GDP numbers come out. Core PC. So we'll see what the GDP, what GDP looks like. And I believe Chairman Powell's looking at the PCE numbers as well. So 8:30, guys. So we'll see how the market turns, if at all. Right now, it looks like it's a bit flat. Here are the cues. So I'm just going to blow this up for us so we can see it a little bit better. And so we can see what happened yesterday after the news. We had our couple broadening formations. This is just some horizontal lines we drew on the daily. And and we have this guy here. We may have drawn on a different time frame. So but if we look at this outside bar, you're in this range right here. So we did not close, or it was really close to the high of this guy, but we're inside this out spot. We got two outside bars here, couple two ups right here. So be looking to see if price will take this area right here, which will be, I think, the high of this guy. So about 311 on the cues if we see a move to the upside today, potential for price action. Because remember, guys, we're in the last week of the month, and you can see we are in time frame continuity except the year, right? So we're up on the week, month, and quarter. All right, so it's Thursday. Be looking to see if the market goes higher, if it trades inside. Let's look at the SPY. Same thing here. We were looking for price to close this gap, traded above it, right? Bullish if we can get a move higher. Yesterday's high, price closes above yesterday's high, holds this level here. That low is 401.44. See if we can get the market to close, trade higher. Again, CCI is still above 100. So we're going to look to go long here on a 2-2 continuation. We'll see what happens with the GDP data. 407 would be our target if we can get a move to the high side on there. And WM. Again, CCI is still trading above 100, but as you can see, it's not creating any new highs here. So we're looking for price to trade higher. It tried to close that gap here. Let me just draw a line so I can see it. All right, so the low here was 183.53. It traded above that, again, very similar to the SPY. So let's see if we can get price to trade higher and take out this daily range here with the target about 187.85. 2088. Okay, so if we get moves, continuations here, two continuations, those will be our targets on IWM. So about 180, 188, 187, 85 SPY. We're looking at about 406, 407, and Qs. Not as grand. Let me redraw that. About 311. That's high. 312. 65 is this outside bar. So we'll say about 312. I'm gonna redraw that on this daily high here. We'll just draw a horizontal line. I'm gonna delete that for now. All right. So we're going to see if we can take out this high here in this outside bar. So about 312.65. Okay. All right. So what else? Yesterday, before Fed Speak, we were looking at a couple of gappers, right? So both Microsoft and Google reported not so great numbers, but they traded up anyway. Maybe with the market, maybe because the market didn't see it was as bad as reported, but they're coming down a little bit, just a little bit here on the day. But let's just look at the trade. I tried to take Microsoft in my small account. It didn't work so well. I tried to short it here off of this inside bar, two down continuation, and it came right back up in the next count. Next flip. And what I will tell you is that it was just a bad trade on my part, just a bad trade. And here's why. The market's trading up, right? If I flip this to the 60, which I did later in the day because I don't normally have the 60 up, 60 had already crossed above 100 here, not so much on the 90-minute, but it had on the 60. 60 is like a major signal for the daily, for the intraday trading. It was already above 100. It was a strong signal. It stayed above 100, guys. So I tried to take this short in here, trade it down a little bit, but I have to tell you the options were not great. And there was probably a reason for that. The volatility to the downside was just low. And so it didn't move much. So I took a small off. I had a few contracts. So about $20 a contract that I lost on that. So wasn't a good trade. But then there wasn't really a trade after that. So again, we like 222s. So even to the upside, right? So this was, you can see this here on our 18-minute. You had a 2 up, an inside bar, a 2 up. So I'm trying to take this 2 down here, but it just wasn't a good trade. Comes back up. And then I have a 2 down here and a 2 up here. But you can see again how it traded on this 11 o'clock flip. Small, hit the ADR, which is the other reason why I tried to short it here, because it hit our average daily range. So it hit our ADR, came back down. This was a very tough trade. And then you can see it went 2 up and closed down here. Then it went inside. We don't want to trade inside 18s or inside anything, depending on what your signal is. You have to wait for that candle to close, and you can see it was inside 60. Then you had your 60 flip here, but again, you can see how small the body of those candles are. So 264 to about, it's at a high of here, so it's a 322 here, 263.90, and probably would have exited right around here, 264. So it was a $1 move. Would have been tough. And the delta on these guys was about 40.43. So it was just hard to make any kind of money. And so I just didn't trade it, waited for the Fed noise, And then I just took my eye off of Microsoft, but you see our inside 90 here right at 2 o'clock. But I didn't want to trade it until after the meeting. And so I just missed the market. I wanted to wait for the chat. So the report came out here at the 2 o'clock hour, and then at 2:30 was when the chairman started to speak, and the market did what it was going to do, triangled some folks out. I just chose not to get back in. Google, and you see here again on Google, right at 2:30, it did its triangle outside bar before it finally made its move. So it would have been a difficult trade if you had been holding this. It definitely triangled you out. Google traded a little bit better at the open. So we had our inside bar traded up against, but because I had already lost money on Microsoft, I definitely wasn't going to trade it, wasn't going to short this. But then you had your 222 here. Continuation, 60-minute flip right here. 2-2 right here. And then you could have held that using the low of your 18-minute candle as your stop. Or I say that if this had gone 2 up and then 2 back down, I would have used the low of this 2 candle as my stop. Okay, so if this, let me say that again. I like to trade 222s on the 18-minute. So if I'm looking to go long here, so this was a 2 up, inside, 2 up. Here's our first triangle on our 222 strategy. 2 up, 2 down, 2 up. If this had traded above this range, went 2 up, but then came back down in the same candle, right? Create an outside bar, you would have had to exit this position, right? Because we don't know what's going to happen after that. If it went 2 up and then traded 2 down, we would have exited at the low of this candle. Yeah, okay. All right, so again, we want 2-2 continuations once we get into a trade. So this is a 2 up, 2 down, enter here, or let's see where, enter here off that flip, which would have been the high of this candle. I would have taken that trade because this is an inside bar. We wouldn't have taken that trade right there. I would have just taken it right here off of this inside bar, because I probably would have missed that one. I'm trying to do too much. I would have taken the high of that guy, but I missed it. So 222, and then it traded much better. Stayed above 100 on the 18-minute until you got over here, it formed this doji, and it came back down. So we would have exited here. And then again, waited for the Fed news. But yeah, I was trying to get something, guys. I made an error here, and then Microsoft just did not trade well, because you can see it came back inside 18, whereas Google stayed above. I'm sorry, it came inside 100. Google stayed above plus 100, and the 222 worked. Microsoft crossed down here. So no bueno, we're going to hold off on this. It just bounced around until after the Fed meetill after the Fed announcement. All right, so what's going on today, guys? We have more news here. So Etsy reported, so we're going to take a quick look at that. I'm going to chart it. Surprise to the upside. Guidance was good. Market is rewarding Etsy. And then we have Meta. So Meta / Facebook missed on top and bottom line and guided to the downside. So we'll chart both of those today. All right, so let's start with Meta. And again, so the broader market looks like it wants to trade higher. So let's see what that looks like. Meta is a 2 up. All right, so it was 2 down, 2 down, 2 down. It went 2 up. It's trading in this range, guys, though. Hold on. Let's look at this. I like to see this on a longer time frames. Okay, so here's what we're dealing with. If we can get price to trade lower, all right, so 2 up, 2 down on the weekly. Remember, this is Thursday. This may be a tricky trade. We don't want to trade it inside this range here. I don't like trading inside. Oh, wait a minute, this 2 down this is still forming. It flips tomorrow. All right, so this 2 days is still forming. So I'm okay with that. So let's see if we get if price trades below yesterday's low, then the 26 low would be our target. So this would be a 2 up, 2 down. This would be our target. And weekly to the downside, we'd be in time frame continuity, maybe turn that month. But remember, we're in the last week of the month. So not sure, guys. So we'll have to be cautious with this. I don't like, I'm not a big fan of trading those last couple days in the month. It can be tricky. All right, so we know we need to trade, price has to trade below the low of the day and above the high of the day. So we're just gonna draw these guys at like such. Let's see here. This low is 162.02, 163.05. I think that's about right. Wait a minute. 162. It actually is lower. 162.02, 162.54. All right, so we know it's got to, that's the problem. All right, so we know it's got to trade outside of this range here. If price stays inside yesterday's range, guys, we will not trade this. All right, we got this outside bar here. We're not going to draw our broadening formations. We're going to use our average daily range. But if it gets stuck at the top of, at the bottom, low or high of the ADR, and it's inside this daily range, we're absolutely not going to trade it. Okay, so we know it's got to trade outside of that. And then we're going to use our ADR for our target. If it trades below the low ADR, that's when we're going to use that the low of that day, this day here, as our next target. So 157.95. So it's got to trade lower than 161, and then we'll use that 157.95 as our target. All right. Now keep in mind, all right, it's Thursday, end of the week, end of the month. Okay. All right, let's look at Etsy. And also, I can put some notes on here. Also, just to keep our selves mindful. So we're going to go short below yesterday's low, which 162, with CCI crossing below -100. That is not a negative. On 18-minute, guys. We want to see the momentum shift to the downside. Right now, it's above 0. We want to see that momentum shift to the downside. If it's just sitting in the middle here, CCI is just kind of trending sideways along that 0 line. You're probably stuck inside day. Do not trade. Do not trade. Okay. We're not going to trade inside day on Meta. I'll just put a note there. Do Avoid inside day. All right. Now, if price trades down to that low ADR, but it stays inside day, we're not trading it. Still not trading it. If price trades down and reverse, because remember, guys, we're looking for reversal signals, but not every signal is a good signal. And so now if price trades down, hits our target here and comes back up, that's a potential reversal. Again, looking at our ADR, it needs to trade CCI. We'd like to see back above -100 if it trades below that, comes back up, and back above ADR, right? So if it trades below that, crosses back up, now we have a potential for a reversal. That doesn't mean it's going to go outside day, right? Because that would be the theory. If it trades 2 down, crosses back up, how far will price trade back up before momentum takes it to an outside day? Well, you got this 3 bar here. So in my mind, which is, we've stopped kind of drawing the broadening formations, but just to visualize that, you're looking at 165. And so we're not going to be in that range. We're we're not going to be trading inside day, but if price came down, came back up, you have to think about, hey, where are your 2 down candles? Where are your 2 up candles? This is a 2 up. This is a 2 up. This is an outside bar. It's got to take that low of that range if it's going to continue. So just keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to look at Etsy. Etsy is trading to the upside. Wow, nice move to the upside. Again, don't know if this will continue, but let's take a look at it. So we do know, so it did little of nothing yesterday. I mean, compared to the rest of the market, you can see what this looked like on a daily. Had this little doji. So little of nothing. What's the ADR on Etsy? Hang on. So about 97. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. 94, 99. That's a nice range for Etsy. Oh, about $5. Let's see. 93, 75, 88, 40. Yeah, okay. So $5 range. $5 range. That's pretty nice. So what we know right now, it's already gapped more than its average daily range, right? It's almost about a 9-point gap here. So we know it's already gapped more than its average daily range. So what's going to happen? It's going to gap up, settle in. We'll see our ADRs form, and then we'll look to see how CCI presents itself. So we know it's got to trade outside of this little range here. And then we're going to use our CCI. So given that where it is right now, let me flip this to a daily, it'll be easier to see. Given where price is right now, guys, it's already traded above this high. You know what? Oh, never mind. Okay, it's already traded above this high. It's got this two up candle here, and it's inside this big range here. So 111. I'm sorry, yeah, 110.95. That would be another. So think about it. All right, it's in pre-market. It's at, let's just call it 103. The high of this range is 110.95. So call it 111. That's another 8 points, and its ADR is 5. So maybe it doesn't trade up to that range. You see what I did there? So I'm thinking once it gaps up, it's going to tell us, right, what's the new average daily range, the high and low of the ADR, which will be about 5 points after that gap. And we'll be able to see if price is going to trade up to this level. So I'll keep my eye on it. I'm going to just draw a line here just to see how ADR forms after the market opens. Okay, so keep an eye on that. Again, what are our signals? It's either an inside bar or a 2-2, so 2 down, 2 up. And we're looking for price. In this case, if it's going to be a kicker, this will be our target, right? That area that we just drew way back here on a daily chart. But we will use our ADR to see if price trades up to the high of that ADR and potentially reverse. We need support though. We're going to need some support from the broader market. It's Thursday. The week is up, and let's look at Etsy on the broader time frame. All right, so what do we see here? We're going to go outside on a 3-day. I'm sorry, outside on a 2-day. This 2-day is forming. If price close above here, we're going to be outside 3-day, and then we'll be 2 up on a 3-day. It's inside week. That would take us 2 up on a week. If price trades above this range where it is right now, and you're seeing we're inside this outside bar here. So again, month is up. We're 2 up on the month, guys. 2 up on the month. 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. All right, so careful though, it doesn't gap up and reverse on you or get stuck in a tight range. So we need CCI to help us with a reversal strategy. I'm probably not going to trade this. If looking at the gapper where it is right now, I am not looking to go to continuation on Etsy after this gapper. I will be looking for reversals, and we'll see if price gets stuck inside that first 18-minute range, then there just won't be anything to trade there. And maybe we get something in the back half of the day, but I will not look for a 2-2 continuation on Etsy, given these ranges here. I'd be looking for a reversal. Okay, so reversal on Etsy and Meta. Meta may just be a do not trade. We'll see if it's stuck inside this 3-day range, because tomorrow's a 3-day flip. No, it's not. Sorry, August 1st. Tomorrow's a 2-day flip. So this is still forming, but again, just be careful that we don't get stuck inside this range here, doing nothing. There's going to be other things to trade. IWM. So my girl Denise likes IWM. I like IWM as well. If we see the market to the upside, I'll be looking at because here's what you have though. Be careful. You have this 2, so outside bar on the 2-day, and then you have a 2 up, right? 2 to continue. So we want this 2, because this is still forming, guys. We want this to continue to the upside. So if we can get this move higher above yesterday's high. If not, again, inside day today, just be careful. Probably may not be doing much trading, but we are 2 up on the week on IWM. So the small caps have performed quite well the last couple weeks. The SPY is already outside 2-day. So again, it looks like it's coming down a little bit in pre-market. I'd be careful with this trading today, guys. Careful trading today. I don't like these outside bars, because think about it. When the market goes outside on the last day of a flip, and in this case, this is a 2-day range, it's already gone outside. Unless there's some significant momentum, you're already outside. To take this outside bar higher, it may just do little of nothing in the first part of the day. Let's look at the cues again. Not a fan. Has not gone outside on the 2-day. but potential. If it goes 2 up on today's, so here's my thought. If it goes 2 up on today's range and not a lot of momentum, may form a little doji here, guys. May form a little doji, so just be careful with that. It'll go 2 up, form an outside bar. Tomorrow's a 2-day flip, only to reverse the following day. So just be careful with that. Last day of the month, tomorrow. All right, so that's all I have. So careful. Proverbs 21:5, the plans of the diligent lead surely to advantage, but everyone who is hasty comes surely to poverty. This is one of those end of the week, end of the month type deals where I'm just not that excited, to be honest. I'm just not that excited. The Fed news I thought was kind of mixed. They were like, yay, we're going up 75 basis points, but we're still data dependent. So everybody's feeling pretty good about Fed speak. But have the lows been put in? Maybe. I have no idea. I just know that when you're day trading, if you're hastily getting into trades, don't have a visual as to where your broadening formations are. So we are not drawing all of the trend lines that we have been drawn before. We're using ADR. And if you don't have a visual of ADR or using CCI to help us with the market topping or bottoming intraday for potential reversals, you're going to risk losing money. So just be patient. Let the market open, see if you can identify those tops or bottoms, depending on which direction the market is going, and trade reversals. Okay, so not interested in 2-2 continuations on the 18-minute unless I get a 2 down, 2 up, right? So a reversal on that 6-minute time frame, right? So to go 2-2 continuation on the 18, 15, whichever time frame you're using on that opening range, then you need to have a rev strat in that first 6 minutes, right? So either an inside bar or a 2 down, 2 up, 2 up, 2 down, that kind of thing. All right, so keep that in mind. Thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate your time and for following. Take good care.